saying, the most unpredictable thing in the world is human beings, because you never know what's going to happen, how people are going to react. So I totally agree with what you're saying. There are three types of learners, primarily three. There are more, but the three types of learning styles are listening, someone who's an auditory learner, someone who's a visual learner, and someone who's a kinesthetic learner who doesn't learn without experience.
All right.
So your backbenchers mostly are your kinesthetic learners. They are not engaged because they're not doing anything. They're just listening and looking, and it's not making sense to them,
Yeah.
right? So experiential learning is when you have a little bit of auditory, a little bit of visual, but you're making them do things.
So welcome. Today we have with us Shilpi Khanna, a corporate trainer with over 22 years of experience. Am I correct, ma'am?
That's correct,
Right.
yes.
And the founder of RSK Training. She has trained more than 50,000 professionals across 150 companies. All right. So that's a very big thing, helping organizations improve leadership, communication, engagement, and retention through high impact. Theater-based and experiential learning is what she's done. She is known for transforming teams, reducing attrition, and building confident leaders through practical, immersive training interventions. All right, ma'am?
Yes.
And it's an honor to have you here, ma'am, as someone who has not only led change inside companies, but built a successful training enterprise from the ground up. So welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So we'll begin by maybe your little introduction. From
Sure.
your side, how has the journey all about? What actually inspired you to start your own training company after years in the corporate world?
Sure. So, when I was in the corporate world, as we call it,
Yeah.
at that point in time, I was working around the clock because
Okay.
handling a training department isn't easy for international companies, because your training department doesn't stop. Trainings happen throughout the day and night. So I had to kind of be present, and I had to sacrifice a lot of my personal life to sustain that kind of lifestyle at that point in time.
Right.
And then I thought that, is it worth it or is it not worth it? Because you have to make a judgment somewhere along the line.
Very
So
true.
I decided that it was time to branch out, do my own thing, and then start my own journey with my own company.
Very true. And very true. So, how has been the journey? I mean, what was the biggest turning point? And tell us something more about how it all started, and what were the initial challenges that you faced. I mean, what are those memorable touch points which makes you feel good about, or something which you don't feel good about, could have been done better.
Sure, absolutely. When I started my own company, I think the most difficult part was getting clients. Because when you start on your own, it's very difficult to get new clients and say that, listen, I've opened this company, I have so much of experience, you should come to me rather than going to someone else, tried and tested. So
Hmm.
I think that was the most difficult part. And I have always been an introvert, and reaching out to people has been extremely difficult for me, had been extremely difficult when I initially started. But then slowly and gradually, I realized that we can leverage networking, people who I worked with before. Then we can leverage LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a huge platform where you get most of your clients from. And how to navigate LinkedIn was an entire learning journey on its own, post which slowly and gradually started getting clients. But now everything is like streamlined and everything is going smoothly. I think that initial phase of getting out of my own comfort zone of not being able to network and talk to people was the biggest hurdle. But once I got over that, because it was a make or break thing. It was either talk to people, get business, or go back to the corporate world. So those were the two choices in front of me. So I thought that, okay, it's best to get out of your comfort zone because that is what I train people about, right? So if I'm not doing it myself, it doesn't make sense. So I think that was the biggest
मैम
challenge.
बेसिकली मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि भी अभी आई कंफर्टेबल इन हिंदी ऑल्सो।
Yeah, yeah,
हाँ जी।
absolutely.
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि भी शुरू का एक साल तो ना लोग जज कर रहे होते हैं कि भी ओ शी स्टार्टेड समथिंग, अभी देखते
Hmm.
हैं। एंड देन आई थिंक योर ओल्ड कॉलीग्स दे कॉल यू इन फ्रीक्वेंट इंटरवल्स टू फाइंड आउट कैसा चल रहा है। दे आर नॉट वरीड अबाउट यू, दे आर नॉट एट
No,
ऑल
no,
वरीड अबाउट यू। दे आर ऑल्सो इन दी ऑफ द माइंडसेट कि यार मैं शुरू करूंगा या मैं शुरू करूंगी तो let me find out how she doing. If she
will
does
it be
well,
successful or not?
will it
Yeah,
be successful or not? And something like, if she does well, so we'll also try and do it. तो वो आपकी
absolutely.
well-being में interested नहीं होते हैं. They
नहीं, नहीं.
are more interested to find out what's happening. और probably कहीं ना कहीं ये चल रहा होता है यार, ये ना चलेगा नहीं इसका, ये नहीं
बिल्कुल, आई
चलेगा।
थिंक एब्सोल्युटली। आई थिंक दैट इज द ह्यूज थिंग जहाँ पे
हाँ,
लोग कांटेक्ट लेते हैं और कहते हैं कि ओ हाउ इज इट गोइंग, सो आर यू बिजी, आर यू नॉट बिजी, टू फाइंड आउट वेदर यू हैव क्लाइंट्स और यू
prima
डोंट हैव
facie,
क्लाइंट्स.
prima facie, the wording, the sentences, we are very happy for you. Good, yeah.
या
You've taken the decision and all that, isn't it?
एब्सोल्युटली, या
But
या बट इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट एट ऑल.
not at all, not at all. So when you started, I'm sure वो जो you know जो आप आज बोल रहे हो नेटवर्किंग का, वो ना इन रेट्रोस्पेक्ट क्योंकि चीजें ठीक हुई एंड probably you were, despite being introvert, you made it a point that you, I'm sure कि भी एक कंसिस्टेंट सा एफर्ट रहा होगा। तो बट क्या कुछ ऐसा प्रेशर होता था हमेशा सिर सिर पे कि भी यार मंथ एंड पे पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, हाउ विल आई बी एबल टू मीट माई एक्सपेंसेस, बिकॉज जो हमारी कम्युनिटी है ना मैम, जो वर्ल्ड कप का प्लेटफॉर्म है, इट इज मोर अबाउट ऑल दोज एंटरप्रेन्योर्स जो स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं, वो probably are trying to find a solution to how they can deal with their problem to continue sailing through.
Yes.
So,
So,
yeah.
sorry, you were saying something.
नहीं नहीं, प्लीज कैन।
Okay, so initially that pressure was not there because I was doing everything on my own, from sales to content development to training to marketing, everything I was doing on my own. But then slowly and gradually I realized that I can't do everything on my own. I mean, it's not humanly possible. I
हम्म
might learn something and be good at it, but it's not my area of expertise. So I had to hire a team. And when you hire a team, you have to pay them.
हम्म
So when that salary has to come in for your team, that is when the pressure increases that you need to have a steady flow of income.
हम्म।
Otherwise, जब आप अकेले काम कर रहे हो तो जितने भी you have
जो
clients
आएंगे,
or
हाँ,
whatever
इट इज
pay,
ऑल इनसाइड इन
you
फ्लो।
can manage,
हम्म।
But then when you have that team, you can't manage. You have to have that X amount that comes in because you need to pay others. So that's a huge aspect.
दैट ब्रिंग्स इन टू अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन। काम कराना थोड़ा ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट होता है ना, खुद कर लो, इट इज स्टिल बेटर। एंड अदरवाइज एक काम ऐड हो गया कि काम कराना है।
Excuse me. So I'll tell you what, I am a leadership skill trainer.
हम्म।
So I train people on how to get work done from others.
या
So if I can't do that myself, it's going to,
मतलब
you
आप
know,
your domain is that, but otherwise how do you think entrepreneurs, and that's, I think that's where we are leading to, that's where our expertise comes. बट मोटा मोटा तो ये एक प्रॉब्लम है एक एंटरप्रेन्योर जो
Mhm.
फेस करता है,
Yes.
that he is trying
So
to
I'll
run
tell
an organization where one work is getting added कि यार काम कराना है, फिर उसी से
you. Mhm.
काम, उसी से मैसेज, उसी से मेल करते रहो,
Yeah,
so that becomes a
true.
difficult thing.
It does become difficult because coordinating with people is not easy. I think I keep on saying the most unpredictable thing in the world is human beings.
Hmm.
because you never know what's going to happen, how people are going to react. So I totally agree with what you're saying. But on the other hand, let me tell you, I had a very hard lesson. So when I was working in the corporate world,
Hmm.
I had to hire my own team, and there were a lot of hits and misses. Then one of my supervisors told me that, Shilpi, you should not hire looking at someone's skill only.
Hmm.
You should hire, skill is something that you can train them on or teach them. You should hire them based on their attitude, the willingness to learn, the willingness to get ahead. So that was such a hard lesson for me, because when you hire the wrong people, you struggle with that team. As you said, you struggle to get the work done.
Hmm.
But when you understand the art of hiring someone who, has the same mindset as you, or who resonates with what you are doing, that is when you don't have difficulties, because you tell them something and they immediately understand that this is the vision and this is how we should go about it.
Hmm.
So I think, that is one aspect. If the hiring is right, I think the struggle is less.
बिल्कुल ठीक है मैम और जैसे इसमें ना we'll try and open some layers because I have also a little bit of experience about handling people. मेरा अपना
Okay.
मानना है
Mm-hmm.
कि मान लीजिए मैंने किसी को काम दिया तो
Mm-hmm.
आई विल नॉट फॉलो अप विद दैट पर्सन मेरे को
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
somehow ये स्ट्रॉन्ग बिलीफ है कि अगर मुझे उसको फॉलो अप करना पड़ गया ना दैट मीन्स
Mm-hmm.
ही इज नॉट अलाइंड he or she is not
Yeah.
aligned to the cause.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the kind of people I would like to hire.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is it okay? I mean, या कुछ ऐसा है कि जिन लोगों से मैं काम नहीं करा पाता हूँ तो मे बी
Mm-hmm.
दे other than the salary part
Mm-hmm.
because in the corporate world when I also used to work in the corporate world so ये चीज सीखी कि भी money cannot be the only motivator.
Yes. True. Mm-hmm.
Right. So somebody who's not working, and this question, maybe the entrepreneurs who's watching this podcast, they would agree that they also face a challenge around these two categories की एक तो जो respond नहीं करते हैं
Mm-hmm.
employees. So maybe there's something has got missed while selling them the career, or there is
Yeah.
something they're not able to relate to. मतलब कुछ
Mm-hmm.
तो मिसिंग है मतलब
Mm-hmm.
मेरा तो ऐसा मानना है कि भी किसी से फॉलो अप कराना पड़ जाएगा because that is what he or she is paid for. So clarity है ना, but you
Mm-hmm.
still have the entire ecosystem where there are followers, messages, meetings, this, that, and there is like mind-boggling,
Yes.
है ना?
You got stuck in between. I'm sorry. So the last part, yeah, you were saying follow-ups, meeting, and
It's a huge mess, uh, especially for the first generation entrepreneurs and those
mm-hmm.
probably जब तक तो वो खुद काम कर रहे होते हैं then things go right but the moment they add one or two people
Yes.
और कई
That's so
बार तो
true.
ऐसा भी होता होगा I'm not
Mm-hmm.
heard it from anybody but adding people at times uh, pushes the entire system down or to an extent of a closure
Okay. Mm-hmm.
है ना
I can see that happening. Yeah.
है ना
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, so I, Touchwood, have a very amazing team.
हम्म,
So they understand the vision, they understand, what I want and how I want it. Because I do my expectation settings. When I hire someone, my expectations are crystal clear that, these are the things that I want and these are the non-negotiables for me. So I tell them
expectation
that
alignment
yes, absolutely.
expectation
That's
alignment
the first thing that needs to be done.
हम्म,
And I do that expectation alignment every month. So I tell them what they did great or what extra would I want, what I didn't like, maybe, give them constructive feedback.
हम्म,
Because giving constructive feedback is also so important. It's not like you've given work to someone and then you're saying that, okay, whether you do good or bad, we'll just leave it at that. It
and you
has to
do
be,
these meetings every month
yes, every
or
single month.
every single month or every
Absolutely.
15 days, every week kind of a thing now.
15 days it's not required, and I have so many trainings that it's very difficult to do in 15 days. So
Right.
once a month, definitely I block their calendars and get it done. And it's really important to appreciate them for their work as well. And there has to be an open flow of communication. So they shouldn't be apprehensive of coming and telling you, listen, this is not working. We need to try something else.
Mhm.
They should have that open channel of communication, knowing that I will not judge them for their feedback. I will not, think badly of them if they come and tell me that I have an area of improvement.
Um,
So it has to be a two-way journey. And I think that is how you manage people. Because if it's a one-way journey, it's just going to be a struggle.
but most of us, most of the entrepreneurs, or most of the corporate leaders, most
Mhm,
would
mhm.
always want to work my way or highway,
Okay. Yeah. True.
isn't it?
I've trained people like that. Yes.
And that's where your role comes in. So, okay, ma'am, there is something that your profile shows that theater-based and experiential methods. How do these
Yes.
create real transformations in teams? I mean, what is theater-based in theirs?
Sure. So I'll tell you what. So let me take you back to your school days. In school days, your teacher used to stand in front of a board and tell you what's written in the books, and then you would either understand or not understand.
Right.
So there are three types of learners, primarily three. There are more, but the three types of learning styles are listening, someone who's an auditory learner, someone who's a visual learner, and someone who's a kinesthetic learner who doesn't learn without experience.
All right.
So your backbenchers mostly are your kinesthetic learners. They are not engaged because they're not doing anything. They're just listening and looking, and it's not making sense to them,
Yeah.
right? So experiential learning is when you have a little bit of auditory, a little bit of visual, but you're making them do things um, within a safe environment. So
All
you're giving them psychological safety where they can open up, where they can be themselves, and they can interact with each other, talk about, what is bothering them or what they want to ask and haven't been able to ask someone for the fear of judgment. And you open up that space, make them experience learning rather than just telling them that this is what you need to do.
right. Very well explained, ma'am. And do share some specific example of any training that probably would have created a visible shift in an organization and what went right. I don't know. Something that you want the audience to know or the audience to get interested to reach out to you that this is what it is and this is where you can help.
Sure. So, what usually happens is a lot of organizations reach out to me with preconceived ideas of what they should do, like the trainings they should impart, the way they should impart it, without doing training need analysis, without understanding what their employees require or need.
Right, right, right.
At that point in time, it seems like a tick in the box. But after the tick in the box, they want to see the transformation. So that's, I would say, unfortunately, is not the way of going about it. First, there needs to be a root cause analysis because there is a cause for every problem that you have. So, if an organization is not able to identify the root cause and you're just trying to fix a problem where you don't know the reason for the problem, it's no matter how much of training, counseling, coaching you give your employees, it's not going to work.
So I think your role comes in where, I mean, these big corporates already have their internal systems, right? So
Yes.
maybe the
Mhm.
MSMEs, what we are talking about, those who,
Yes.
क्योंकि they don't
Hmm.
have those set laid processes
True.
or the
Hmm.
human resource per se is more to do with only salary disbursements,
Hmm.
है ना? I think that is
Yeah,
where your
absolutely.
role comes in. So why should not they internalize this process and why should they come to you? Is it cost effective or is the experience that or you help in giving such internal resources to them who can
Mhm.
build the processes to at their base rather than
Yeah.
always outsourcing it because outsourcing it would mean depending on the external factor.
Yes. Hmm. So, what usually happens is for MSMEs and new startups,
Mm,
they are unable to set up a training department.
right.
It's difficult because they have approximately 50 people or less. when
Right.
you start out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it eventually grows. But for 50 people, you keep one trainer and you're paying them every month. I mean, that doesn't really make sense. That's one. Second thing is that why they should outsource is, even if you have an internal team, they are within the organization and they look, at the situation within that scope. But when you bring someone from the outside, they give you a bird's eye view of what is actually going on, what's actually going wrong. And usually employees would open up with someone who's come from outside, because they're not going to be judged or evaluated based on being honest. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than having someone from their own team going there and then later on giving feedback to supervisors saying that, okay, your team member said this, or that. So that is another aspect that is there, and hence a lot of companies, even larger companies, outsource because they want someone else to come in, give a different perspective from what is already happening in the organization. And
तो क्या
yes,
मैम ये सॉरी मैम
no, please go ahead.
तो क्या कुछ ऐसी वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन है कि मान लीजिए आई डोंट नो अबाउट द इन्वेस्टमेंट दैट दे नीड टू डू व्हाइल दे आर हायरिंग योर,
Mm-hmm.
मान लीजिए 1 लाख रुपए है एग्जाम्पल और
Mm-hmm.
वॉट
Yeah.
एवर, तो डज जो इम्पैक्ट है क्या वो
Mm-hmm.
कॉस्ट रिकवर हो जाती है,
Okay.
एंड अगर हो
So,
जाती है तो कितनी देर में हो जाती है? क्योंकि ना एक जो बिजनेस बुद्धि है, somebody who's a
mm-hmm.
business minded guy,
Mm-hmm.
उसको ये होता है कि मैं पैसे वहां तो लगा ही सकता हूँ ना जहाँ जहाँ से
Mm-hmm.
मेरा रिटर्न आ जाएगा,
True.
और वो वहां पे
True.
बार बार लगाते हैं। दैट्स अ बेसिक बेसिक बिजनेस सेंस की, यार जहाँ से पैसे आ रहे हैं वहां पे
Mm-hmm.
और पैसे लगा देते हैं। तो ऐसी कुछ
Absolutely.
कम्युनिकेशन है विच यू वुड लाइक टू गिव टू दीज एमएसएमई, those are 50 less or plus kind of
Mm-hmm.
size, yeah,
Organizations.
yeah.
So absolutely. So I'll tell you what. Say for instance, some company has a lot of attrition.
Hmm,
People keep on leaving that organization. So they're bleeding out because जितना भी आपका revenue आता है, आप उसको spend करते हो to hire new resources,
hmm,
because you have to pay, the recruitment firms a certain amount, and the company keeps on bleeding because of that attrition. So
right.
you get trainings done, understand why your people are leaving. So you train your managers so that they can manage their teams, so that their teams don't leave. So within 3 months, if you see the attrition rate going down, because see, leadership is something that either you know how to do or you don't. And 90% people don't, because they get influenced by the leaders they've seen or the leader at their house. And
Correct.
unfortunately, the workforce is such right now that you have three different age groups. And how to manage three separate age groups differently,
Hmm,
but together, is something that not everyone can do.
hmm,
So you get in a trainer or an organization like mine, and then you help your leaders understand how to manage the people,
hmm.
how to prevent them from leaving so that their people are not burnt out, their people are motivated, they know exactly what they need to do with their people in order to keep them engaged. So the attrition slowly and gradually within 3 months reduces for this organization. So whatever cost they are saving in their hiring process is much less than what they will pay for a training session.
मैं आपकी
That
बात
is one
बिल्कुल समझ
example.
गया, बट ये काफी
Yeah.
कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, मतलब आई डोंट नो हाउ यू आर एबल टू रीच आउट टू पीपल टू फाइंड,
Yeah.
क्योंकि सम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दैट इज ब्लीडिंग, हाउ वुड यू कम टू
Yes.
नो? मे बी यू ऑलरेडी सेट एन इकोसिस्टम अराउंड इट, बट
Yes.
द पॉइंट इज कि कई बार ना, करेक्ट मी
Hmm.
इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, कि कई बार एम्प्लॉयज की गलती होती ही नहीं है। वी आर
Yeah.
ट्राइंग टू करेक्ट एम्प्लॉयज, बट कई बार
Hmm.
उस लीडर की जो एंटरप्रेन्योर है वो माई वे और हाईवे पे काम कर रहा होता है, और वो
Yes.
he is adamant not to change. So how do you deal with
Hmm.
that? How do you because ये आपके साथ ना कनेक्ट ही शायद वो वाला एंटरप्रेन्योर करेगा जो ना
Hmm.
ओपन है।
Yes.
तो ये तो वैसा
Hmm.
वाला नहीं है, हाईवे माईवे वाला नहीं है,
Oh,
है
yeah.
ना? somebody who's he's probably genuinely interested in the in
Hmm.
improving his organization. He's more of open minded kind of a person.
Hmm.
So I think but still you would have faced a challenge where the promoter is not understanding. ऐसा कभी हुआ है आपके साथ?
बहुत बार होता है।
तो कोई
सो
कोई बगैर नाम लिए कोई ऐसी बढ़िया सी कोई बात बताइए जो ऑडियंस को सुनने में अच्छी लगी और उन लोगों तक पहुंचे जो थोड़े स्टबर्न से हैं, उनको समझना चाहिए दैट हाउ टू हैंडल थिंग्स।
absolutely. So I'll give you a small example. So there was this organization, and I'm not going to again take
हाँ,
names,
यस यस यस।
where their HR was determined that they don't want experiential learning,
हम्म।
they don't want theater-based learning, they want the old school
ऑल
teach
थॉट।
tell training.
हाँ।
Um, they said that, oh, our participants are of X background, and they will not engage with you, they will not interact in that capacity, so please only open a presentation and tell them that these are the things.
हम्म।
So I tried to convince them that give me an opportunity, let me do it my way. If it doesn't work in the first half an hour of the day, I'll, do whatever you're asking me to do.
हम्म।
So they refused. Okay. They
हाँ।
said that no,
नॉट
we're
आरवी।
only going to do it that way. So I was like, okay, fine, let's do it that way. So I did it for them. They really liked it. And then the next time I said that, let me do it my way now. So because we've already had the experience, because it was new relationships are built like that, right? So
ऑब्वियसली।
first you say yes, okay, and then when they experience the kind of person that you are or the kind of services you provide, so they give you a little bit of relaxation. So I was
दे
like,
स्टार्ट
okay, now
ट्रस्टिंग यू एक्चुअली।
yeah,
कि नहीं सब।
that's what.
हाँ।
Absolutely. So when they gave me the opportunity to do it my way, there was such a huge change. There, people went back and said, "Oh my God, we need more sessions like this. We need to, incorporate more trainings for our people," because it was a leadership skills training. So the managers and the supervisors wanted these trainings done for their teams then, because they were able to open up, they were able to interact. It was not a one-way communication like the organization wanted. So I think first and foremost, as an organization, I would agree to whatever the client wants
हम्म।
and give it my best within that scope, but then slowly and gradually convince them on tried and tested ways that actually work for people in organization to create that transformation, to create that shift. Because again, the old teach tell does not work.
नहीं, डजंट एक्चुअली।
Yeah.
अच्छा, और बताइए मैम कि भी आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कहाँ बेस्ड है, बिकॉज हमें तो मालूम है बट द ऑडियंस इफ
Yes.
यू वांट टू टेल देम एंड वेयर ऑल आर यू, योर रीच इज, एंड maybe is it pan India that people can connect up with you? So
So RSK Training is pan India. And
okay.
I recently collaborated with another trainer, Pooja Dangol from Nepal.
Mhm.
So it's called PS Learning Lounge. We've opened a new company, and that is international. We
Nice.
are looking after Nepal and India, but at the same time, we have also trained people from Iraq and some African countries. So that portion of that new business is totally international. And for India, it's RSK Training, which I handle individually
Oh.
with the team, obviously.
Mm.
Yes, that is the one that I founded.
How big
And
is the team, ma'am? How big is the team?
I have approximately 9 people.
That's nice, man.
So why I say approximately is because I have a few people who I hire on a freelance basis,
All right.
but 9 people are full time.
Oh, one.
Yeah.
That's a
So
big
that's
team.
why approximately people will think I don't even know the count of my own employees. Okay.
नहीं।
So, and the people who I hire as freelancers, they're like more or less permanent, because whenever I have that requirement,
Hmm.
they're the ones that I reach out to.
Perfect. मैं बहुत, there are many women entrepreneurs those who are associated with us and those who keep watching our channel. What advice would you give to women who want to build, an enterprise of their own? Something that you would like to tell them?
As I said in the beginning, I think it's very important to get out of our comfort zones,
Okay.
because our comfort zones are the is the biggest thing that keeps us from going ahead. Like I said, that I was an introvert, and hearing no was like devastating for me. So if I reached out to someone and said, okay, can
Uh,
I come and train for you? And they used to say that no, thank you, or we don't require it, or whatever response, I used to be like, oh my God, my world is ending, that
I
kind
think
of reaction.
perfectly fine, ma'am. I think what you're trying to say is the consistency
Yes.
and belief in yourself. लगे
Yes,
रहो,
absolutely.
है ना? लगे
Yes.
रहो. So thank you so much. It's been pleasure having you with us. Is there anything that
Same.
you would like to ask? I'm will be more than happy to answer.
No, no, that's it. I think it's a great thing that you're doing, speaking to other women on their entrepreneurial journey. I think
Yes,
it's
yes.
so important to give women platforms because they want to step out and do something on their own. They want to create a space of their own, and giving them that kind of a platform is commendable. So thank you for doing
Thank
that.
you so much, ma'am. It's been 5 years now. We've celebrated our 5 years recently.
Wow,
So
that's
yes,
amazing.
yeah. So we've been consistent about it. So thank you so much and have a great day, ma'am. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, you too.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.